early San Francisco Shock. They started to go with the Winston 3-3, decided to swap things up. Looks like Super's going to be going over the Reinhardt. We do see Violet on the Moira too, which is usually something you want to pick if you're expecting a lot of DPS heroes on the other side. They're not going to see it. They're going to swap it over to the Zenyatta.
Yeah, they were really just very... They were really just very concerned right there about the Doomfist Sombra Pharah comp coming out. That's not what is going to happen. And they're going to get back to the point before it actually goes over, so no % given up.
Yeah, get response, but then there was a hack on a Choyobin, so the D.Va Mech already eliminated on the Shock side. So Houston Outlaws with a nice start to this fight to try to control the point. They will take it first and get that control % building. Shock trying to rotate around the side, still fighting it out. 6v6, Choyobin, no mech. Now he's finally got it back again. And now they attack. So can they push the Outlaws off? Raucus uses that nano boost really fast. Where'd that go? I think it went on to Muma there. Now the grab comes in a hurry.
Big bionic grenade.
Outlaws able to hold the point. Pretty much getting those ultimates just in time to get the job done.
Yeah, Lynxer getting that nano boost was absolutely massive for the Houston Outlaws. Made it so he could generate his Graviton Surge very quickly, and Raucus just chucks that bionic grenade into the cluster of San Francisco Shock players, and that means there's no healing coming in because of the Sleep Dart. So look at that, Sleep Dart, no
great.
Matrix. He walks up and bionic grenades the massive San Francisco Shock players. That is some great auto play from Raucus.
Yeah, Choyobin not able to absorb the Graviton Surge. When you're asleep, can't do much there. EMP from on top. Danteh drops down. EMPs, 4 of them. Choyobin slept again. Houston Outlaws uses that sound barrier as well to keep them safe, and that is a nice shatter coming in from Muma. Look at that. Drops 3, gets Rascal on the charge, and I gotta say, the Outlaws are looking sick so far in this round.
Yeah, they are. Another sleep on the Choyobin. Look at this stagger. A hack onto Choyobin now as well.
Oh, the
and they're just going to wait to stagger that little pilot
I want
diva.
to get off Muma's wild ride.
And that means we're now in the zone of one fight to decide this point right now. Houston Outlaws, they win this next fight, they're going to be sitting pretty. San Francisco Shock, they don't have very many resources. A hack onto the back line. Danteh roaming around, but they're not going to have that transcendence if Lynxer uses that Graviton Surge quickly.
This is what you brought Danteh in, man, for that backline threat, for his Sombra expertise. And now Shock moving in again. They've got the transcendence now from Violet, so they can keep this fight going with the healing. We'll see. Lynxer drops the grab, goes in, super down already before the sound barrier hits. They lost their main tank. Now the nano boost over onto Muma. There's an EMP again to finish off the Shock, and it is really looking like this is going to be a 100-0 start on the first round on Nepal for the Outlaws.
Excellent start from the Outlaws. Danteh with a critical hack onto Sinatra at the end.
Very good.
Very clean fighting here from Houston coming in, and they will start this map up 1-0.
Wow. Danteh really would love to get a win over his former team, especially when that team just happens to be arguably the best team in the league right now. That would feel good, and it's a good start for the Outlaws here in Nepal.
And we are going to go to Sanctum next, and as we take a look at the Outlaws, Danteh is on the D.Va. Now, Danteh did play a pretty solid, significant amount of D.Va in Stage 1 and Stage 2 for the Outlaws. Obviously, CoolMatt, their D.Va specialist, so he is going to be off-rolling just a little bit, but it's something that we know is in his toolbox. Muma coming out. We'll see if he stays on the Wrecking Ball. It's probably just a scout.
Yep, gonna take a look at the enemy team, wait for it at the stairs. There we go, sees Winston. That's crucial. Is he gonna get out? No, just jumps right onto Super right away.
Interesting. So let's take a look at their tailored strat. Houston Outlaws is gonna come in with the Zarya bubble.
Trying to separate the Shock team right now. Doesn't end up resulting in any picks anyway, but it does keep them at bay while the point unlocks. It's gonna be about 3 seconds until then. All right, and you expect Shock to maybe jump across to try to contest it. No, they're just going to keep fighting, just keep poking against Outlaws.
It's just going to be Sinatra challenging the point right now, so Outlaws realize they can take a 6 versus 5 as they flank in.
Yeah, they've got the man advantage with the point being taken. Now Jake down early. Outlaws, though, they lose the first person. Muma dives back onto the point to prevent the take. Raucus and Jake down, though. There goes Lynxer, so Shock certainly coming out better in this fight so far.
Yeah, Muma's just going to have to get out right now.
Yep.
It was a very fast rotation from Sinatra back. Kind of a bait, actually, because he just sprinted all the way back off the point to join the teammates because they knew the Houston Outlaws were going to try and take advantage of that situation. Sinatra makes it back, gets 80% of his charge towards that Graviton Surge.
It wasn't necessarily a wrong decision by the Outlaws, but just something that Shock had planned really well for. Here we go, Muma still on that Wrecking Ball. It is one of his favorite heroes, it seems like. He's one of the better Wrecking Balls in the league for sure. Sinatra, though, already with that grab. Oh, and Super takes out Muma early. I shouldn't have said anything good about him, man. I caster cursed him. And it's going to be San Francisco Shock holding the point and not needing to use any ultimates to do it.
Yeah, and they're also going to get a little bit of a stagger there. And that's rough, but Muma rolled in there with multiple Shock members, just trapping him in that room. Outlaws, they've held on to all their ults too, but don't want to give up those charges. We're still going to be looking at probably a 6 versus 6 ultimate scenario here. We don't see that many of them.
Not too often on Control lately, but Shock just able to play it efficiently, and Outlaws just not getting a chance to use theirs until now. Just waiting for Linkster to build up that Graviton Surge, and then, it's going to be the Apocalypse, man. 66. Yeah, Super. Down to the point already here.
Yeah, he's the one who's just preventing the point capture right now, and he can reposition quickly to the opposite side if necessary.
All right. The minefield comes down for Muma. Nobody really gets caught in that, but now Super has some of the Outlaws caught in the back room. Jake taken out by the Primal Rage. Super, meanwhile, jumping onto Linkster, just keeping everybody separated here. The pandemonium that Super is causing on this Winston right now is certainly doing the trick for Shock.
And look at the value. How often do you win a fight just using a Primal Rage?
Now that
and they're going to stagger too. The mini diva is there.
I mean,
and they're going to eat Linkster's grab.
Well, as good as round 1 went for the Outlaws, Shock has turned it right back around. And why not take this fight, right? You're over 90% anyway.
Yep.
If you win this fight, you just win the round.
That is a great call by the Shock. Just to go ahead and throw that grab in. And that's it.
Yeah. All tied up here on Nepal. Shock just as dominant in the second round as the Outlaws were in the first round. So, I don't know, man. What do you think we're going to see in the final one here? Could go either way, really, at this point.
Yeah, it's interesting. It will be on Village. So this is a point where we might see the Pharah come back here for Jake. So a lot of options that can come through. We can also see the Doomfist.
Yeah, Outlaws one of the teams in the league that's willing to run that once in a while, and there is that Doomfist Sombra comp that's starting to gain a little bit of popularity as an anti-3-3 comp, so you never know. I don't know if this is the perfect round for it, but it's something we could see a little bit later on too.
I'm not super sold, and the Doomfist Sombra comp has been popular at a contenders level, at an amateur level, but I'm not super sold that it's really going to beat very well coordinated 3-3 teams.
They're going
who know it's coming, but Houston, here's their chance to prove us wrong.
That's exciting. It's such a fun comp to watch, but it does require really, really good coordination and really great individual play on the Sombra and the Doomfist.
Yeah, you have to play around bubbles so effectively.
Yep, that's right. All right. Pressure onto Choyabin on the mech. He does get hacked as well, but they can't de-mech him. Maybe they can. Oh, he gets a healing just in time. Nice shot on a Moth. Jake, that's the thing, man. You get a big rocket punch on one of those squishy support heroes. They hit a wall. They're just dead, right?
And you run the Ana as well, so you have the opportunity to hit the Biotic Grenade, which means that you can maybe even finish somebody off with Sombra, who generally doesn't have enough damage to make a kill happen through the sustain of a 3-3.
I love this comp.
Yeah, it's very fun to watch. The Houston Outlaws, they come in swinging, and they're going to start picking up the first few percent.
This is my favorite comp to watch in Overwatch right now, and I hope it gains more popularity because it is pretty sick. It's all in the Outlaws. They have to do well with it. Inspire other people. Except for my ranked teammates. I don't want them to try it, but I'll watch it all day. Muma comes in with the Shatter. He's got the Nano Boost. Now goes forward. No, he doesn't hit the pin. Onto Choyabin. Super does get hacked, though. Muma down. It's trouble for the Outlaws. They use the grab and don't get anything out of it. And that is where the coordination falls apart. And if that happens, well, you see the results right there.
You can really see what the Outlaws are doing, though. Raucus, the target is Choi Hyobin. They want to sleep Choi Hyobin or hack Choi Hyobin to make the Biotic Grenade as effective as they possibly can. It's worked in several other fights so far here on Nepal. It did not quite work that fight. Muma could not get the charge to continue the CC to open up that opportunity, and San Francisco Shock preempted it with their Transcendence.
Yep. All right, so they got the EMP. They have the meter strike, and they nearly have the point. Danteh just putting some pressure onto that. Choyabin getting demeched here.
Nope.
No, he didn't. Oh, wow, it was so close, but they did get to sleep on the Super, and now the jam comes in, the bubble just in time, and it wasn't enough to save Super in the end. And this is a great start for the Outlaws in this fight. They look like they're going to switch this back in a hurry here.
Yeah, they did have to use the EMP. though, and the Meteor Strike. Sinatra eventually will fall at the end, but this could be a big turnaround if they get that elimination.
That was very nearly a devastating Earth Shatter for the Outlaws, but luckily they only lost Boink in the process.
Yeah, that was a bit scary. If Super had not also fallen there, San Francisco Shock would have had an opportunity to come back with a player advantage.
Yeah.
So eliminating Super, very good for the Houston Outlaws. They still have plenty of ults to work with. Linkster can get that nano boost again and chain it right into a Graviton Surge.
Yeah, here we go. Nano boost as well. Linkster has the grab. Jake close to his ultimate. They could go for the Space Jam here. Sleep Dart gets absorbed. Now this sound barrier on the Shock in the grab. They're going to use a nano boost right after that. Linkster, a lot of damage onto him. Sound barrier now on the Outlaw side to get that extra shield. Boink gets caught by the self-destruct, and now it's a 65 in favor of the Shock, but the big bio grenade on the tanks might make the difference. No, it won't. The Shock is going to win anyway. They've got some catching up to do, but they've got a chance.
You can see the Shock adapting. That time, Choi Hyobin goes on a flank and just runs down Raucus. They know that he's the threat, so he just basically swoops in and tries to take Raucus out of that conflict, knowing that he's going to be providing a lot of that healing. That distraction gave the Shock an opening to survive the Graviton Surge and the Nano Boost. EMP is up, though.
The EMP does come through, hits a few members. Violet, Super Sinatra, all down already, and even with that Earth Shatter, it's not enough to save the Shock, and the Outlaws look like they're going to probably flip it right back here. Nice charge on the Choi Hyobin there. At the end, he's going to definitely reset. Now, Jake did swap off of the Doomfist, too. He's on the Brigida now, so it's back to kind of a more normal-ish 3-3 with the Sombra. Well, I guess it'd be like 3-2-1 at that point, but you get the idea. They don't have the Zenyatta, but Raucus is really close to a Nano Boost, so I think they're going to wait and play that out.
And they're close to another grab dot. What does Shock have? They've got nothing. They've got nothing to work with right here. This is going to have to be an heroic effort by the Shock. They have to get on the point.
Yep. This Outlaws map to win. Right now, this is it. The Shatter comes down, hits like 2 or 3. Now the grab afterwards. Violet down. Big charge from Muma. Gets 3. And that will be the Outlaws taking Nepal and taking a lead in this series.
And they come out with the Sombra Doomfist. Finally, the Outlaws playing to their strengths, bringing Danteh back into the roster. And that sets them up 1-0.
The Hack Fist comp playing out pretty well for the Outlaws. Let's see if they can keep it up on our second map right after this.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
That's right. Grand Finals coming up. Get your tickets. Should be a good time.
September 29th, Wells
Yeah.
Fargo Arena there in Philadelphia. Should be really fun. You missed out on the New York one last year in
it was so
Brooklyn.
great.
It was fantastic.
Amazing crowd.
DJ Khaled was incredible.
That's right. Overwatch League. Well, Houston Outlaws with a 1-0 lead. Never forget. Houston Outlaws with a 1-0 lead in this series over the San Francisco Shock. Doing great on Nepal and pulling out a really awesome comp in the Hack Fist, the Doom Fist Sombra composition. We're going to Horizon Lunar Colony next for our assault map. And so they won Control, which they did against New York.
Yes.
Now the question is, can they keep the momentum going?
Well, they did get full held on Horizon versus the NYXL. So
Yeah.
this may be a bit of a point of weakness in their map pool. San Francisco Shock going to be going back to one of their standards, which is the Batiste 3-3. That is their specialty. And you know what? Coming in, the Houston Outlaws, they were actually in a 3-3 mirror, have the 4th worst teamfight win rate in the league at 42.5%. And that's behind Chengdu, Florida, and Shanghai. Chengdu and Shanghai decided we're not playing 3-3 anymore because we're so bad at it. And now Houston Outlaws, they made a decision to start running a lot of other stuff. Raucous on a Soldier 76.
Ooh, nice pick by Violet.
Very good opening pick.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just #Violet things, right? I mean, he's so good at finding those long-range picks on the Zenyatta.
I mean, he may not have even seen the Sombra there. That could have been
But you take credit for it, though. Like, yeah, I predicted. I saw him go in visibility. I knew exactly where he was running. Yeah, no one can question that. Yep. Well, Houston Outlaws, going for that triple DPS, or quad DPS, rather, composition with the Sombra Widow Soldier Pharah. They love to use that EMP barrage with Jake. Can they bring it online here on the point A? All right, Jake a little bit low. You got to work about that Rascal, because Rascal's the best Batiste in the league, and he's super accurate. We know that. Makes it dangerous for Afar to be anywhere nearby.
Yeah, it's hard, though. San Francisco Shock trying to contest this point while staying out of the Widowmaker sight lines, but it's not a lot of pressure onto Super right now. He's able to hold it by himself. A couple of supports on the flanks right now. And here comes the Shock. They're going to try and push forward.
Well, Jake nearly dropped right there. If you lose your Far, it's really tough to keep pushing forward. Houston Outlaws managed to muscle their way onto the point right now via Boink's ultimate on the Mercy, but Lynx are already down. Sinatra finds a pick there, and there goes Danteh. So this push not working out. You've got the Immortality field up for Rascal, and if you've already lost a few people, you're not going to get through it.
Yeah, really good job from the Outlaws staying behind cover. Lynx are swapping over to the Doom Fist.
Okay.
So it's starting to mix it up.
All right, I like it.
Yeah, San Francisco Shock, though, you could see they're just poking. And the problem for the Houston Outlaws is they're playing this one support composition. And they had 4 out of their 5 members very low. So Boink needed to use Valkyrie just to heal up to continue the poking. But unfortunately, Lynx are eliminated immediately after that. And now we're going to see the Hanzo coming through instead.
Sweet. All right. Trying to front load the damage with the arrows there. Now, Danteh really close to the EMP. This is the moment they've been waiting for. Want to get that EMP barrage, courtesy of Jake Sparra. That's generally the plan. They do separate Super a little bit, that he's able to walk back to his team. All right, where it'll be. There's a stun. Whoa, that actually hit Jake. Whoa. Okay. Shock pushing forward. Boink in a lot of trouble. Jake down. Blew himself up there at the end. Had taken so much damage. Moth out of commission too, but I don't think the Outlaws are going to be able to win this one. And yeah, they're just going to save some ultimates here. Jake did use his barrage during that at some point, but that's going to be an ultimate. Maybe they want back, but maybe we're going to see a hero swap from Jake too.
I mean, right now it looks like Muma's just going to swap off the Wrecking Ball. He just came in and dropped the minefield onto the point. That's it. No, switches off and then back to the Wrecking Ball, but
Confusion sets in. Right?
That was a little odd considering that they could have just waited to get on the point right now, EMP'd into minefield and just sort of held the point right there.
Oh, this is getting rough because now it's less than a minute remaining. Danteh needs to have a huge moment with this EMP. He's going to be able to kill Violet really quick. Yeah, man, no shields means a dead Zenyatta. Super a little bit low as well. So good EMP, that's what they needed. Lots of kills on both sides, though. And now Lynxer needs to kind of carry a little bit with this Hanzo. It's on him and Jake to do the damage. But Choyabin still full health on that Diva. And yeah, you just run right into that Hanzo. What's he going to do, right?
There's just not enough tankiness to really hold the point, though. Yeah. And that's the issue. Raucous going to use that tack visor. Choi Hyobin is going to flank him with a bubble.
Yeah, and 20 seconds remaining now. Houston Outlaws have maybe one last-ditch effort attacking with Muma dying so late. they are going to have no time. You can see desperation moves now. Raucous over on the Tracer. Lynx are on the Hog. It's all about getting picks right now.
Try and come in. All 6 members of the Shock still on the point.
Right. Here we go. Muma dives in, gets that adaptive shielding. Can they actually take the point, though? They only need one more tick. Rascal, pretty safe behind enemy lines here, it seems like. Jake getting closer to another barrage. We're deep into OT now, though. Shock just trying to muscle their opponents off there. There's a amplification matrix going down, and Lynx are the first to fall on that Roadhog. Rascal with a nice kill onto Raucous, and that is going to be it. The Houston Outlaws once again getting full held here on Horizon Lunar Colony A.
And Super and Choi Hyobin harassing Boink endlessly on that Mercy. That last fight, they chased him out of the fight completely, zoned him out of line of sight, and that's when Lynxer didn't have the healing necessary to stay alive as the Roadhog.
Well, that's what you do. Shock giving themselves a real good opportunity to win this map. We'll see if they can do it in just a moment. Things are looking grim on Horizon Lunar Colony, despite it being a first step to the stars on that poster. It seems like a first step to a map loss for the Houston Outlaws as they got full held. San Francisco Shock with a really good opportunity. They only need to get to 73.6% of the point being taken to win it. Should be pretty doable.
Yeah, but Outlaws still have that chance to win, right? And
sure, yeah.
Outlaws have always been, a more defensively oriented team. They're bringing out the bunker comp now.
That's right. Don't forget, on Sunday, pretty exciting match coming up on Disney XD. Do not miss that one. Should be cool.
Yeah, it will be the San Francisco Shock versus Seoul Dynasty in our match of the week.
All right. Well, the attack has begun. Lynx are over on the Widowmaker now. And it's the typical Houston Outlaws bunker comp. They've got Jake on the Junkrat. We've seen this a lot. They're really good at playing it.
Some interesting positioning, though. You do not expect the Junkrat to be here. So trying to cover that doorway. He's trying to get the damage in, and that's going to be a nice shot onto Rascal. You do not expect that Junkrat to be there.
That is a great spot to hide out, though, man. It's a little bit risky. You can always concussion mine your way to safety, but as you can see, if the Shock just kind of roll through as one big unit there, you're going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, you absolutely are, and he's dropping one of those Junkrat mines in. Jake already 60% of the way to
Violet.
that Riptide.
Violet's dodging grenades. He's playing some DDR over there, but he manages to stay alive. Played that one on heavy, but he made it, man. And that was impressive.
Right now, the Batiste is cut off, and Rascal's been hacked. Danteh found him.
Okay. Jake a little bit low as well as he takes some shots coming in. There goes Rascal, though. Danteh finds the kill in the end, and Shock having a real hard time approaching here. They're going to go for it anyway, though. With the power of anger, they're moving forward. And they're going to lose Violet. Boink down. Here comes the tire. Jake can end this push right now. Moving forward, a lot of damage onto Sinatra, but no kills.
Nobody dies. That is so important because of the respawns.
Yeah.
Because they got Boink, If they don't get another elimination here, there's a possibility.
Oh,
And that
Danteh.
elimination on Danteh, massive.
Yeah, Jake in a little bit of trouble now too, and he's down. The positioning was not great after losing his Sombra. Linkser falls as well. The pieces crumbling, and the Houston Outlaws may have just lost this map. I don't know if they can get anybody back there in time. Maybe they can contest, but you're not going to get that 6v6 fight anymore. That's the map.
That's it.
Yep.
Can't quite get there for the EMP. And they had to play that aggressively too, the Outlaws, because they lost their mercy.
Pretty much. San Francisco Shock tie it up in short order. And we will see which team takes the lead after halftime. Don't go anywhere, guys. More Overwatch League coming at you right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile, and by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right. The Outlaws are trying to snap an 8-match losing streak with an upset over our Stage 2 champs. After this win on Control, well, they're halfway to doing it. Welcome back, everybody. It is halftime, and we have an awesome game on our hands right now. We've got Zoe, we've got Josh, and a 1-1 score. We came into the day saying if Houston is going to pull off the upset, you wanted to see some damage dealers. Did you get what you wanted?
Absolutely. I think Houston came in with a perfect game plan, and they were able to actually really execute this on the map number 1 at least. The first round was surprisingly one-sided. I did not expect that. I actually was very surprised by that. But again, it was very well executed. They played really well around Raucous' Anna. They put on a lot of pressure on Choi Hyobin, managed to take him out of the equation so that Anna can actually land those grenades and is able to, the rest of the team following up on that. So overall, really well played by the Houston Outlaws.
They definitely came in with a game plan, not just in terms of their compositions, but in terms of what they wanted to do, who they wanted to focus. And it seems like Choi Hyobin is the guy that they want to take out of the fight. This second round didn't go so well for them, but here again, you see that Choi Hyobin's already been hacked, can't do anything. They find another opening, take down Mok. And it just sets up for these situations where they can get off the big bionades, the big grabs, and be able to push themselves into fights. So I think this was a perfectly executed idea on the right map for it as well. We've always had this debate with the Houston Outlaws. We wanted them to run more stuff like this, but you can only run it when the map allows it. So I thought that was great on Nepal that they had a different strat for each round.
Nepal was fantastic to watch. That went to 3 rounds, but then we went to Horizon, and it's probably the shortest game we're going to have all day. Why were the Shock in total control of this one?
I think personally it's because they're much more used to playing against quad DPS kind of compositions. The strats that the Houston Outlaws were running on Nepal were much more around still having a front line and then having the Sombra and the Doomfist harassing Choyobin. Whereas when you have quad DPS, you can't take Choyobin out of the fight in the same way, and he was doing a lot of work. And they know how to prep against this. Their movement around the map is really good for the Shock.
Yeah, and the Shock just really did a fantastic job at shutting Danteh down. He overall on the Houston Outlaws attack round, he got almost nothing done. He barely got like 4 or 5 hacks out there. It took him more than 2 minutes to actually get his EMP up. And if you're running this kind of DPS comp, you are relying on that EMP to opening up that fight, and they did not get that done.
Need that Sombra EMP. It didn't come in game 2, but maybe we'll see it in game 3. Let's take a look at what maps we have moving forward and tell me, what are the chances if you're a Houston fan? Can it be done today? Can you beat the Shock?
Well, it's a little difficult. Eichenwald was the map that we had this discussion with before. When Houston played against the Vancouver Titans, they had a strategy around playing the Pharah and the Sombra, which I think they'll probably do again, but it gets very difficult once you go into the attack rounds. So I hope that Houston have an idea of what they can do to be able to win, but it might just turn out like Horizon. It's still a good plan to run something weird, but if it fails, it's going to look horrific. But Houston still have a chance.
Keep it weird, Houston. Keep it weird. So does it happen in the second half?
I mean, it has to, right?
It has to. It has to. Houston's pulling off the upset today. We're rooting for them. We'll see if they can get it done. But reminder, they're going up against the best team in the league, our Stage 2 champions. And they got to run through this guy, Sinatra. He's leading the league on Zarya. And today, he's got some tips for you. It's Game Set, sponsored by Omen by HP.
He's been an absolute prodigy, a phenom. I'm running out of superlatives to describe Sinatra.
My name is Jay Wan. I go by Sinatra in game, and I play for the San Francisco Shock. Zarya offers a lot as a tank, actually. Like, she has a lot of HP, so she can tank for your team, but also she does like a ton of damage, especially if she's really high charge. So I would say both, being a tank and doing a lot of damage at the same time. Tips for like lower level players: a lot of mistakes I see is like not getting energy before a fight starts, like, and they're just zero energy the whole time. And just to get energy, you should be bubbling before a fight, so you can do damage throughout the whole fight. You want to be using your ally bubble like before the fight to get energy, obviously, and then during the fight, like, I always tell my Ryan, like, you call the bubble, because they know when they're gonna go in and swing and stuff, so I let them call it. Also, like, especially at a low level, you could farm D.Va and just don't shoot your grab randomly into the team. Like, track D.Va, wait for her to matrix, and then after a matrix you can grab. To maximize grab, I like to use corners and like walls to grab on, so it splits their team. So if the enemy uses Transcendence, then it's like really hard to heal because they're like split. After the fight, you want to go like to their side of the map and take damage before the fight starts again, so you can maintain like high energy. Starting with my video settings, okay, I actually put on 200 hertz. If you're on 200, you don't ever drop below 200 FPS in team fights, so it always feels smooth. For Zarya, I play on 800 DPI, and my crosshair is 196. I don't know why I chose purple, but I can see it easy. And my projected barrier sensitivity is 100. It gives me a lot of wiggle room to like hit my bubble, so I could just like flick and bubble. I don't have to like land directly on them, so that's why I play on 100. This is like what I actually do. Right before I match, I just go in the training range and I just track one bot, and then I try to flick and right click the other like that, and I just keep doing that until I like feel really good about it, and I just do that for like 5 minutes to get my timings right. So one thing cool you can do is rocket jump with Zarya's right click, basically right clicking and jumping at the exact same time to get like an extra boost, so you jump higher than normal. A way you can utilize the right click boost, places like here, and you just want to get more damage, you can come here, jump up here, and then just jump up here. And also for the defending side, you could come and just do this, and then you'll be on like a really good flank on their whole team. Thank you guys so much for watching my episode of Game Set, and I hope I helped you guys with your Zarya play.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch League. We are all tied up between the San Francisco Shock and the Houston Outlaws. So, Houston Outlaws looking very, very good in our first map. Rise and Lunar Colony kind of seems like they're kryptonite right now, but we're moving on.
Yeah, it was San Francisco Shock's kryptonite last year, actually,
True,
was
yeah.
Horizon. But a lot of new players and, of course, some more experience from players like Super and Sinatra has alleviated that issue for them. We are going to be going on to Eichenwald next, which is going to be interesting, I think, for the Houston Outlaws and which strategy they want to run, because especially that point A, you can run some multi-DPS compositions on that attack.
Yeah, you'd think this would be the type of map that would really suit their willingness to do things a little bit outside of the normal 3-3 meta right now. And, I mean, because even a lot of other teams outside the Houston Outlaws like to run triple DPS, sometimes quad DPS looks on this map. So we'll see. It's a fun map. Point A has a lot of possibilities around it.
Yeah, point A does. Point C, obviously, is exclusively 3-3. So you're going to if you get far enough, you will always have to play it.
Yeah. Well, we have a substitution coming in. Let's check it out. See who subbing in. The anticipation is building, and it is CoolMatt. That's right. Subbing in for Danteh, which is a little bit surprising, actually, because we talked about these two players. CoolMatt, obviously a really great diva for a long time, but he doesn't quite have the versatility in terms of hero pool that Danteh had. So especially with a map like Eichenwald, it's a little bit puzzling, isn't it?
Yeah, we are going to take a look at Rascal as well, who has been a key part of this San Francisco Shock style on the Batiste. And having a very good map there on Horizon Lunar Colony. And going back to CoolMatt, the thing that with CoolMatt is that you know they're going to play 3-3 when CoolMatt is in. Like basically, that is somewhat of a guarantee. So I think we're going to have to see the Houston Outlaws. I came in talking earlier that when Houston plays a 3-3 mirror this season, they only win 42.5% of their team fights, which again is 4th worst in the league, and that's behind Shanghai and Chengdu and Florida. 2 of those teams rarely play 3-3 anymore as a result of that, or play less of it, I should say.
Not good enough. Not good enough to win a lot of maps. So, taking a look at our map set, Eichenwald, as we said, is going to be the next map, Vanna after that, but let's talk about Eichenwald a little bit here. Now, Houston Outlaws did win Nimbani, the hybrid map that they played against the New York Excelsior, and you would think Eichenwald would have some real important similarities for the Houston Outlaws because it offers a point A that lets you break out of that 3-3 sort of shell, right? But Houston Outlaws, they're on defense first, so we'll see what they have in mind, but it looks like they might just go with that 3-3.
I think CoolMatt is really the tell on this one, that they are going to be opting into that strategy. And you do know you're going to have to play the 3-3 at some point on this map, usually point C, if not point B as well. So you may just go ahead and try it and, you know, just slow them down the entire time, especially on the defense. Will be standard Reinhardt 3-3. Meanwhile, San Francisco Shock should be happy in that mirror. The Shock are the second best team in the league at winning team fights in the mirror, behind the Vancouver Titans. Shock at a 58.8% team fight win rate.
Here we go. We're in the game. The numbers can only carry you so far. Now, it's down to the clicks.
Well, Sinatra can carry you the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they'll do it. There we go. They're running the 3-3. 3-3 versus 3-3. Straight up with Reinhardt. Sinatra. Low health, but a lot of damage coming out on the Zarya already as they push forward here. Super getting aggressive. Boink nearly dead, but he stays alive, barely. Moth up on the high ground, looking for opportunities to displace people on the Outlaws for the moment. You go for it, maybe. All right. Rally. Coming in now for the Outlaws. Now the rally for the Shock. Extra armor all around. Sinatra getting really close to his grab. Lynx are a little bit farther away. There's the grab now for the Shock. This is the moment they take out Boink right away. The Transcendence from Raucus can't save him, and now Jake laid low by the Earthshatter. Muma tries to respond, but they've got their own Transcendence on the Shock side to keep him up, and that will be point A taken by the Shock.
Yeah, just a little over a minute, an extended team fight, but they keep picking up those eliminations afterwards.
Yep.
Sinatra, 50% of the way up towards a grab. Houston Outlaws did save their Graviton Surge, but they don't have long to use it before Moth is going to get his sound barrier to provide those overshields for protection to all of his teammates.
Yep. Now it's time for Magical Journey to the castle. First, we got to get through point B. Outlaws dropping down to try to defend. You want to try to defend as the payload goes through the gateway. That's what they're going to do with the Graviton Surge. Muma misses his charge, though. Can't take anyone out. Kills on both sides coming in. Shock looking a little bit better for it, though. We'll see if the self-destruct turns things around. It does not. It just gets CoolMatt killed instead. And the defense falling apart pretty rapidly for the Outlaws.
A little bit of a D-mech there, though, onto Choi Hyobin. That, see if he goes ahead and gets the quick reset. Looks like
It'll be annoying
he
to
is
deal
not.
with,
He's going to go up onto the high ground and try and get the last few percent.
You can build it pretty quick.
Yeah.
He's nearly got his mech back already, so he's okay.
It's fine indeed. Houston Outlaws coming up on 4 ultimates now. San Francisco Shock nearly at 6. This has been easy for San Francisco so far.
I mean, that's the thing. They've used like 1 ultimate per fight, basically, and Houston Outlaws have had a really hard time keeping up. They're going to have 4 ultimates now. A chance for the Outlaws to turn things around. There's a grab, gets eaten, though. CoolMatt ready for that one, and Choi Hyobin comes in with a self-destruct kill onto Boink. Sound barrier for the Outlaws as they re-engage here. There's a shadow from Muma, knocking a few members of the Shock down. Muma tries to charge somebody up, and he gets booped. He gets knocked off by Rascal, and the whip shot delivering Shock. Point B.
And so far, it's just been win after win after win for the San Francisco Shock, Doa. 17-1 eliminations in favor of San Francisco. They have not been slowed down at all. Muma going to get split spot as well.
Make it 19-1. Both Linkser and Muma are going to go down here.
It's a great win. And the payload keeps on moving here through point C. Rally will be the next ult used by the San Francisco Shock as they look to re-engage. They do not have anything to stop Linkser's Graviton Surge. Choi Hyobin might have to come up big here with a negation on that ultimate.
Yep. All right. Shock on the verge of setting a new record, beating their own record even. For Eichenwald attacks here. There's a Graviton Surge. Can the Outlaws win a team fight? Choi been a little bit low. Muma does go down. That's not a good start for the Outlaws. They're trying to focus super. They finally get him, but they lose their Zarya in the process. Shock not going to be slowed down too much here. Are they going to keep pushing? The thing is the respawns are going to come really fast for the Outlaws. So they're going to have to fight that 5v6. And yeah, the Shock, can they carry their way through? It's a grab, all right.
Yeah, just a solo grab, but there's
Muma's
nothing
dead.
to stop it, Doa.
Man, they couldn't keep Muma alive. Self-destruct comes in for CoolMatt. This might be the turning point. No, it's not. And now the Shatter comes in. Nobody to block it. And Super sets it up. This could be the new attack record on Eichenwald if they could just push it over the finish line here. And I think that moment is right now. Goodbye, Muma, and goodbye, Outlaws defense. That was a blazing time from the Shock.
Yeah, and the record on this map is 4 minutes and 13 seconds in the time bank. So despite the fact that the Outlaws lost every team fight, eliminations 31-2, they at least slowed it down enough to earn about 30-45 seconds.
That's something anyway. Quick break, and when we come back, Outlaws go on the attack.
Into the iris. Into the iris. Well, the kill count currently stands at 31-2 in
favor of the San Francisco Shock. Only Rascal and Super seeing the respawn room in that entire round. That's crazy. Don't forget to get your Jad mental device at some point.
Yes, another episode of Doa tries to pronounce other languages that ends tragically.
I'm half German. That's the saddest part of all this.
You're fully American. You've made that abundantly clear.
I didn't even get a chance at that one. It's attack time for the Houston Outlaws as they try to really climb the highest mountain here to try to equalize the time set by the Shock. I mean, it's going to be so difficult. You saw that payload barely got slowed down at all.
Yeah, it didn't stop much there. Only a little bit for the poking on A. Raucus trying to deal some damage to Super there in the front line, but the Shock will just fall back behind the payload and take some cover.
Yep, pretty much. Lots of left clicking going on with that Zenyatta. That's what you do. Drop the Discord orb and just try to find those picks, get those final blows, and then tell your teammates that you did all the work. That's what I do on Zen anyway. That's my strategy. Works well. Jake shield on the Super here.
Yeah, Jake's done in the front line, so he has to use his shield bash to get out. That means San Francisco Shock is going to have an opening around some of these cooldowns.
They can get a bit more aggressive here now for the moment anyway. The moment has passed, but they did push the Outlaws back a bit. Ultimate's coming up for both sides here. Sinatra way ahead on the Graviton surge percentage when you compare him to Linkser here, and that's a big deal. But Outlaws ahead on the support ultimates just a bit, so maybe they can equalize. Sinatra not using that grab just yet. There's a shatter that comes in for Super, and now the grab gets used. Muma and Raucus in there. Raucus with the Transcendence. They're trying to use the sound barrier. Outlaws throwing everything they've got, but it's a later Transcendence for Violet, able to keep the Shock alive, and Moth really close to his Lucia ultimate as well as they continue to push forward here. They might not even need it. Outlaws not done yet, but the ultimates have not delivered them the payload so far.
Choi Human's not mech now, though, so they're going to have to use it. They're going to play aggressively now.
He's down. Look at it, Sinatra already 80% towards another Graviton Surge. It's insane. Violet gets killed by Muma's charge, and now they're trying to turn it around here. A chance here, perhaps.
Another grab.
Muma, though, but yeah, another grab for Sinatra. He builds those incredibly fast. Outlaws not ready for grab number 2. Compare him and Linkser, right? Sinatra's had 2 grabs. Linkser got his, but now he's only 40% towards another one.
Sinatra on Eichenwald is earning his grabs in an average of 52 seconds. I don't know if I have seen a faster grab rate than that. Usually a great player will have about a minute to a minute 5 on those times for ultimates earned, but this is lightning fast today.
Wow. And that's the thing. We know the Houston Outlaws already kind of struggled to attack on a lot of these maps too, so when you put them up against that, it gets tough. There's a shatter coming in for the Outlaws. Raucus down early though. A good response by Violet, finding the 2K as they push the Outlaws back again.
It's not looking a lot better for the Outlaws here on this attack. Only a minute left.
Yep.
So 40-4, the elimination count as San Francisco Shock back in their comfort zone, playing the 3-3 mirror.
I mean, that's the thing. You go up against the Shock in 3-3. They are the best in the world at this composition right now. I think you can make a strong argument for. So, I mean, Jake down already. So, if you're the Houston Outlaws, it is a little bit puzzling why you would take out Danteh, why you would give up those strategies that seem to be working a bit better than the 3-3. And, you know, clearly they believed in this one for Eichenwald, and unfortunately it's not panning out.
Yeah, look at Sinatra right now, nearly at that next Graviton Surge, 98% of the way there, trying to get the last couple percent. There it is.
The Links are there too. Outlaws, if they're going to ever win a fight, this has to be the moment right now. 25 seconds to go. They've got ultimates, and they lose Jake again. 2 pushes in the row. That Shock have found that pick onto the Brigida, and Outlaws scrambling. Now they got to go with the 5v6, and Linkser, his grab gets eaten by Choyopin. Disaster for the Outlaws. A clean sweep. And that is pretty much the end of the map. There is no coming back from a beatdown like that. 48-4 are the kills, and the Shock crush Eichenwald.
It doesn't get more one-sided than that, Doa.
Nope.
Absolutely brutal from the Shock. Outlaws now down in this series, 2-1.
What can you do? Quick break, and we'll see if the Outlaws can tie it up when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
As we get ready to take on that impending map 4, let's take a look at Sinatra on the San Francisco Shock. This guy is an inspiration on the Zarya.
Here's some of the stats from last map, though. You ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if anyone else is ready. I'm ready.
34 limbs, 0 deaths on Eichenwald, 12 final blows, 17,291 damage per 10 minutes. We'll look at the head-to-head between him and Linkser. As you can see, as Zarya in this match, right? So lower stats for Sinatra than the stats I'm quoting right now, but he was over 5,000 more damage per 10 in that last map.
Yeah, still nearly doubling final blows per 10, too.
Yeah, and also that last map was at 82% average energy and a minute per grav earned.
Right.
Average time. And to put that in perspective, Sinatra is the fastest player in the league at earning graviton surges, but his average time is 74 seconds. He cut 14 seconds off of that in that last map.
It's crazy. It's actually unbelievable how one-sided that map was, but that tends to happen when you try to play 3-3 against a Shock. We've seen a lot of teams try to do the same thing. Let's take a look at our substitution. Might not be a big surprise. Danteh coming back in. CoolMatt is out. As we look ahead to Havana, our escort map.
And surely I think the Outlaws will have some fun strats prepped for us here. This is, it really feels like an Outlaws map. Long sightlines, ability to play Linkser on the Widowmaker, ability to run the Junkrat potentially, ability to run the Orisa. So this is where you'd think the Outlaws could really do some damage.
Yeah, you would think so. We'll see. I'm glad they put Danteh back in. I thought Eichenwald was a good opportunity for them to run some of their more creative compositions. This is another opportunity and a chance to tie up this series. They're not out of it yet, but it's two pretty demoralizing maps in a row for the Outlaws here. They're going to have to kind of dig deep, I think, on the mental side, too, to get that momentum back in their favor.
And as you can see on your screen right now, both teams 0-0, no play time. We have no film from these teams and what their preferred strategies might be. Houston Outlaws on the defense first. Looks like we will not be seeing anything too odd, just going back to the Sombra. So playing it Shanghai Dragon style.
Yep, putting in that Sombra. 3-2-1, Comp 3 support, 2 tank, and a DPS named Sombra. Here we go. Shock pushing up, and you do see these early defenses a lot here on Havana. Right on top of the payload. Danteh about half health, though. Can't really harass until he gets healed. He does finally get the armor back, but now Violet down. Ooh, nice pick for Danteh. That's exactly what you want to have happen. Halfway to an EMP, end of pick. Feels good.
Yeah, that's a huge play from Danteh to force them all the way back into that spawn room. But Jake actually snakes that whip shot in there to finish off a low HP Rascal on the Brigitte.
Yeah, threaded the needle with that one, but Shock definitely slowed down a little bit here early on.
Yeah, it's going to force the translocate right there as the respawns come through. But so far, nice hold from the Outlaws.
Yeah. And this is the exact kind of thing you need, because now they're going to start to get that little edge in ultimates. That said, Sinatra's still ahead of Linkser in terms of building that grab, but only by a little bit this time.
Yeah, EMP.
They've got that EMP. That's right.
Up, and he's going to try and get in the middle. He's going to get
get him out of it. Yep, super down immediately. Violet and Moth not going to last as well, and another nice little hold here. They've taken a lot of time off the time bank already from the Shock, but Shock are coming back with a lot of ultimates.
And this is perfect for the Outlaws. They're playing this so well. They're cycling their Sombra ultimate against their other 5 ultimates that are coming online. Shock have been struggling to get up in terms of that ultimate economy. They're just going to throw it out, that Graviton. It'll be matched.
There's a grab, but Link's for the first person to get the kill zone. Now the Shatter comes in, counter Shatter from Muma, and that's an even bigger one onto the San Francisco Shock. Super in big trouble. And they're going to go back to spawn yet again. Only about 2 minutes left in the time bank.
But Shock played that well. They trade a lot of those ultimates out, and they go back to spawn, knowing that they're going to have both support ultimates operational for the next fight, to just the one from Boink on the side of the Houston Outlaws. Danteh dangerously close to his next EMP, however.
Yep, that is correct. Moth is really going to need to avoid that EMP. Same for Violet. Supports have gotten so good at dodging that Sombra, but not so good at keeping Super up. That Transcendence was just ever so late. Rascal trying to hard carry his team back into this one, though. But 2 picks, and now Violet, the support's fragging out. Supportal combat, indeed, as the backline delivers the Shock a well-needed win here on Point A.
That was a scary moment for the Shock, though, losing Super, because they couldn't get the Transcendence up fast enough. If Rascal hadn't been able to pick up those 2 eliminations onto the Shock front line, or onto the Shock Outlaws front line, excuse me.
I mean, if I'm a support, I'm just happy. I'm like, good. Main tank's out of the way. I don't need to worry about healing that guy anymore. I can just focus on killing people. That's why I like to play support.
That's how you roll?
That's right. That's why I win all my team fights. Let the tank die. Then I can focus on what's important.
Watch Moth right here. When that sound barrier is going to come in.
Yeah, all right. Sinatra down early. Not a great start for the Shock. Super got hacked as well. And so the Outlaws can just push forward here.
Yeah, they get great value because they trade the Graviton Surges, but they don't have to use the EMP. And now the Shock all the way back to their spawn again, so it's looking a bit desperate, though. It's only 30 seconds. Outlaws may be on the verge.
I mean, that would be insane to force a Game 5 here against the Shock after the way they lost those last 2 maps. A hold here would be great, and that's an enormous EMP. EMP as the Shatter comes in. Fantastic timing from the Houston Outlaws to set that up. That was spectacular.
Yeah, it's still going to be hard for them to win this next fight. There is going to be some time for Choi Hyobin to touch the cart right now. Yep, Dante's fighting him on the side. They've got to figure out a way to get him over. Super is going to be there. Can anybody get to the payload? Looks like just barely.
D-Mac now Violet jetting in there with the Transcendence, but the Diva is out of the mech, though. That's a problem for the Shock. No defense matrix. Jake has a rally. Support ultimates available, too, as the Outlaws go in. Sound barriers on each side. Teams poking, trading. Super dropping that Shatter, but not really getting any stuns out of it. Sinatra down. It's a 6v5 in favor of the Outlaws. What a hold it would be if they can end it right now, and a D-Mac on Choi Hyobin would help. There's another grab coming in. So many members of Shock low, but they're sticking in it for now. Oh, but Choi Hyobin down, and there's the Shatter coming from Muma yet again, who has looked great on this round, and that is a fantastic hold for the Outlaws.
Very well done from the Outlaws. 20-5, the eliminations in their favor in that first half.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is powered by some really good ult economy from them. Using that EMP very effectively. Danteh always been a Sombra ace, and now he's showing why he's back in this lineup.
Yeah, everything just looking really tight for the Outlaws in that last round. Let's take a look at one of the bigger moments from that round. Good to see Danteh back in there on the Sombra, certainly making a pretty big difference. And this was one of those big moments from him with that EMP.
Yeah, and I mean, you see the EMP right there at the end.
Yep. As the Shatter comes in from Muma.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, it led to Choi Hyobin being demeched at the start of that fight, which was the next fight, which was consequential. We sort of had to get Choi Hyobin over there as fast as possible just to even send the map into overtime. So a paltry 68.14 meters push for the San Francisco Shock. Might be starting out their Havana here with a loss.
Could be. That would get us to that Game 5 tiebreaker. There, of course, Don Rumbatico, the well-known rum maker.
Is that right?
Can he taste his own rum? We've wondered that in the past. Who knows? Maybe he has those sensors built in.
Maybe he does.
Does he have a mouth to pour the rum into to begin with? That's up for debate as well.
Does that affect his circuitry?
Maybe.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Canonic swim?
Do they
I don't know.
Dream of electric sheep? Questions that need answering. Here we go, Outlaws on the attack. They only need to push it 68.14 meters. Lynx are looking for an early pick there, not finding it, so he's going to swap over to that Zarya. I like Raucus on the Ana here. Sleep Dart can make a difference in a hurry.
This is clever, too.
Yeah.
You see Rascal, the target of the hack right there, and Danteh just, he's on the point. He's moving that payload, and he forces them out of position.
Yep.
Going to keep on doing that if he can.
All right, Movement misses the Jump Super with a really fast shatter, actually. They're going to chain that into a kill on Amuma. I don't think anybody expected Super to have that Earth Shatter so fast.
Yeah, Danteh, though, he's just being so annoying. Choi Hyobin trying to come back and make sure that payload doesn't move any further for free, but Danteh, as we saw in that first map, he's really been focusing Choi Hyobin with those hacks. Nano Boost already here.
Yeah, here we go. Gonna get used on Muma. Muma's swinging away, but now the grab comes in from Sinatra. That's gonna be a problem for the Outlaws, and Muma taken out. Goodbye Lynxer as well. So far, so good for the defense on the San Francisco side.
Yes, but these support ultimates are going to have to be flawless, Stoa, from this Shock, because every EMP that comes up, we're going to have to see Violet or Moth holding on to that ultimate in order to find the opportunity to counter it.
Here we go. Speaking of that EMP, Dante setting it up. Looking for a good angle, and this looks pretty solid. Making sure he hits the supports. He did get both of them. He got both the supports.
He did.
Super is down. Hacks on Violet and Moth. That means Violet not able to use that Transcendence to keep his team alive.
Uh-oh.
That was a breakout moment for the Outlaws right there.
Yeah, Violet looked like that he was going to be able to dodge line of sight. It seemed like he was behind the column, but I guess that line of sight just hit him barely.
Yeah, he was up on that second tier. He was up on the second floor and just poked a little bit too far out in that window.
And now, San Francisco Shock, they've got one fight. They've got to win from here on out. The payload is almost there.
Yeah, they're going to need some big CC here. They've still got 2 minutes to contend with. All right, Nano Boost on Amuma to start things off with. Gets moved away, but there's a grab from Lynxer coming in. Muma's still swinging through, but the healing is there for Shock so far. They're going to respond with their own grab. Sound barrier up for the Outlaws, though, so they weather that storm. Now Moth a little bit low. Violet down. They get Moth as well. Both of the main supports down on the Shock side, and Outlaws, they might take us to this Game 5. Muma doing his best to do just that. And they have done it. We are going to the tiebreaker.
Danteh playing out of his mind right now. The hack targets have been so good for the Houston Outlaws with Dante's in. And those EMPs pushing them over the line. They will take that win on Havana, and we will now be heading to Ilios.
I like it. Once again, the Houston Outlaws take a top team in this league to map 5. Can they succeed where they failed against New York? Find out right after this.
Into the iris.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about, guys. Let's go map 5. We got this. We really got this.
They don't know what to do against Sombra.
They really don't. Let's just keep it classic.
Hey, yo, listen. EMP like this, they actually don't understand how to deal with the grenade.
Hey, guess what? We're back, and that's right. We're going into map 5 pretty soon. It's going to be very, very cool. Once again, Houston Outlaws actually taking one of the best teams in the league all the way to map 5. They couldn't get the win versus New York, but maybe today. Maybe today's the day against the Shock.
Yeah, breaking the Shock's win streak, too, could be absolutely huge for them. So coming in, I mean, look at how well Dante's playing, and I really hope that they leave Dante in for this map 5.
They should.
They did not do that when they played against the NYXL on, I believe that last map was Oasis.
I
think it was Oasis.
98% sure that you are correct.
Yes, it will be Ilios this time, though, and I do think they'll leave Dante in. I think they should have left him in map, or put him in back in, I believe, in map 5 last time.
Yeah.
Obviously having a great day. You heard the team talking about how they don't understand how to play against Sombra, and it's tricky. I mean, Sombra is such a powerful hero right now, and really I think it's the San Francisco or the Shanghai Dragons who have shown with Ding how effective you can play against a 3-3 on this particular hero, as you can see. That is a lot of damage done, 16,000 overall.
Hack too.
Yeah, and it really is the hacks, and it's also the target selection. So Dante's doing a great job of shutting down Choi Hyobin when necessary, shutting down supports when necessary, and it's also comboed with the Ana, because the other big change that the Outlaws have made have been playing more Ana and playing more, which has always been Raucus's best hero.
Right.
So Raucus has had some really good highlights, I think, tonight. Using the sleep dart and the hack in order to shut down the D.Va, and that in turn sets up some of those big biotic grenade opportunities. So really good stuff overall, I think, from the Outlaws. When we've seen Dante in, when they have been running Sombra as either the only DPS or one of a few DPS as part of their compositions, and now this is their chance.
Yeah.
That said, Outlaws in game 5s, you know.
Oh, yeah. Name a more notorious duo. We're not going to wait, though. Ilios is going to be the final map in this series. Another control map. The Outlaws did win the first one of the day on Nepal, but hey, they won the first control map against New York as well. So kind of the same type of situation here.
And it will be Dante in. It will be Dante in as well.
I think that's a very easy choice to make at this point.
Well, I thought it was going to be against NYXL too, but it wasn't.
I'm not the coach. I can't do that kind of thing. To me, easy choice. I like CoolMatt, but for something like this, put in Dante. He's going to be on that Sombra again. You can see the Outlaws are 2-2 on this map overall. 3-2 for the Shock. So pretty even as far as the historical records on this map go, actually.
Shock an 11-match win streak right now. Stretching all the way back to their first match in Stage 2, and including the Stage 2 playoffs. And there you go, Outlaws. 0 map 5 wins this year.
Yeah.
And 4 out of 13 overall. This has long been their weak point.
Yeah, Lynx are on the Doomfist, so they are going to try the Hack Fist combo. Not quite that same comp, but there we go. Hack coming in on a Moth, and he's going to be down. Dante gets out with the Translocator. 6v5 in favor of the Outlaws as a point unlocks. They might get that early control percent. Just going to zone out the, I was going to say zone out the Hog, but that's a problem. If you miss that Rocket Fist against a Road Hog, you're going to suffer. And Lynxer did go down quick. Shock responding, nice hook. Oh, but he gets booped off. Jake, what a concussion grenade to save himself there.
That concussive blast, huge play from Jake. And that means Outlaws are going to be able to keep this point. Shock now going to mix it up. Super moves over to the Winston, and they are going to play the Moira. We saw them roll out with this similar kind of composition in the first control map, but Houston was not running their Pharah Doomfist Sombra combo. This time they are, and they're already almost to another EMP.
I mean, they've nearly got that EMP barrage combo that they really, really like to use too. Muma's going to drop the supercharger to give his teammates a little bit of extra damage on the well here. Jake chops down, gets the barrage. That's a couple kills with that one. Lynx are cleaning up as well, and they didn't even need that EMP, just pairing the supercharger damage with it as Jake dropped down. Nice delay now into Choi Hyobin as well. And that's painful.
Yeah, it's very painful. Outlaws still kings of the point here, 60%, and they have the EMP. to use on the next push from the Shock. Shock really struggling. Choi Hyobin finally able to remech right now. Shock, though, because of their comp change, they don't have a lot in terms of ult charge, and they're unlikely to get much with the EMP in this next fight.
Oh, they found the Moira. A little bit of trouble for Violet. He tries to back away here. Danteh with that EMP goes for the hack, translocates out. Now back on board with Linkster as he activates the Meteor Strike. Don't get on the well. There we go. Go down onto the D.Va. That's a nice team back into Choi Hyobin. Muma pulls Rascal into the well as San Francisco gets a couple kills, though. And they might just be able to flip this one over. I think they will.
All right, so the point is going to flip, but Outlaws hold the EMP. They only need that 7% more. So they stay strong. Outlaws' ult economy has been good overall. Well managed today.
Yeah. All right, just 10% for Shock as they try to slowly catch up to the 93% for the Houston Outlaws.
I mean, this is going to be so hard for the Shock. They only have that Coalescence right now. Plenty of opportunities to use the EMP and the Valkyrie for the Outlaws. Outlaws have every advantage.
I mean, Moth can't really use the sound barrier early because it just gets cleared by the hack, by the EMP. Danteh, though, using that EMP early. Moth not caught by that one. Super gets hacked, but they get no kills. Now the barrage comes in, and Jake again finds the angle, gets the 3K, and they will flip this one right back again. 98-99, overtime now for our first round, and I don't think Shock is going to be flipping this one back anytime.
I don't think they are either, Doa. They just got to chase down Moth. Choi Hyobin makes it back.
All right, keeps the point going a little bit longer. Gets the hack onto him, though. Couldn't knock him into the well, but they will demech him really quick. That gives time for the rest of Shock to come back again. Oh, but the grab right there for the Shock. No kills on that one. Muma has a primal rage to keep himself alive. Lynx are looking for a target. Finds Jake. A little bit of damage on him. That's a kill on a Rascal now. And the Outlaws getting the cleanup. It was a valiant effort for the Shock, but point A will go to the Outlaws. 1 round away from dethroning the champions here.
And who would have guessed it, Doa? The San Francisco Shock undefeated in Stage 2. The Houston Outlaws totally defeated in Stage 2. Now they hit each other, and the Outlaws have pushed them to the brink. They have proven that the game last week against the NYXL was not a fluke. They can hang with some of the best teams in the Overwatch League.
Yeah. They had a couple rough maps, but man, when they look good, they look really good. And Control certainly seems like one of their map types. Can they get the job done here on Lighthouse? Shock looking to equalize on this map on Ilios. Violet going to be sticking with the Moira, anticipating the DPS coming out from the Outlaws, but it will be only the Sombra for the damage-dealing heroes on the Houston side. Here we go. Jake, 14 out of 20 final blows for the Outlaws in that last round. That's pretty crazy.
Really good for Jake.
Yeah.
Definitely use those barrage as well to mop up those team fights.
Not bad.
Shock going to try and muscle their way onto the point. They will have an advantage with the spam coming in with that Moira. They might have suspected the Pharah again here.
Well, I mean, they're waiting. Oh, super carved off from the enemy team, and Outlaws taking advantage. You can see they were waiting for the right hack to come in from Danteh to dive in there, and they just rocked Shock.
They're playing so well around Danteh. Dante's having a great day, but it's also the way the team is responding to his hack targets and patiently waiting for him to find them. Violet is not going to swap off of this Moira.
All right, he's close to the Coalescence, so maybe they think they can get some sort of combo going here. Ooh, that was nearly a knockoff, I believe. Muma now with the Earth Shatter locked and loaded. Waiting for the chance. There's a hack.
Big shatter.
That is it. Another fantastic hack shatter combo for the Outlaws.
That timing is so perfect on the EMP. It looked nearly frame perfect there for the shatter to come in. And that means the Shock have no defenses off the back of the EMP. They did take the point, though, so fortunately for San Francisco, they prevented the Outlaws from getting control percent while that combo went up. That may make a big difference towards the end of this round.
Here we go. Linkster with a Graviton Surge built up again as the Shock tried to come into the Coalescence, but they can't make too much progress. Now finally pushing in and Boink down. Violet got him with the orb, but now the grab for the Outlaws. They're getting the kills, and they're holding the point. Muma with the Nano Boost as well, doing tons of damage. Wow.
The Nano Boost makes all the difference. And so the Outlaws now, they are creeping towards this massive upset victory over the Shock. They're going to have another EMP soon in the next fight. Sinatra needs to make the most out of this Graviton Surge before the Outlaws can get a defensive ultimate online.
I mean, they've got the combo again. Call it Hack the World, maybe. Do the Earth Shatter and the EMP. They're trying to focus Muma down right now. They do not want that combo to come in. Point gets taken out. That's a big one. There goes Linkster. Can the Houston Outlaws even fight this one? I think you just reset, man. I think you just give it up. That's what they're going to do. No ultimates used.
You're in one-fight territory, Doa.
Yep.
You don't need to use anything right now. The discipline from the Outlaws in these scenarios today has been exceptional.
Yep.
They haven't overcommitted. They're not going to overcommit there. And Sinatra does manage to use that Graviton well. The Shock, they are going to have another hard battle against Dante's EMP. Like you said, the Shatter is there as well. They're going to be looking to set up the combo.
Yep. All right. Waiting for it. Oh, that's a dangerous moment. Dante nearly gets pulled off. He has to use that translocator to get out now on board with Muma as he has a nano boost. Big Earth, or a Fire Strike rather, through the enemy team.
Moss still waiting for the beat.
Yep, that's right. There's a big Shatter. Oh, they did it again. Hack the world. And that is going to be the Outlaws cleaning up this fight again at over 90%. I think they've done it. 0-7 in Stage 2, 7-0 in Stage 2 for the Shock. But this is the Outlaws' day. Overtime just barely activated as the Shock have one last scrambling chance to keep themselves alive in this series. Super not going to last too long. Violet down as well. It's all falling apart. Had to end sometime. The win streak is over. The Houston Outlaws defeat the San Francisco Shock.
What an insane upset, Doa. And they bring back Dante. They show they can go the distance versus the NYXL. They get their first Map 5 win of the season, the 2019 season, and they do it against the best team in the league.
What a match. And, you know, we talked about it, right? A lot of people saying, hey, you know, what was up with that New York match? Was that a fluke that they took it to Game 5? Clearly, the answer is no. The Houston Outlaws have finally found what it takes to take down top teams.
And no hard feelings there. Of course, Super and Dante,
former
teammates, good friends all around.
Yep, gotta feel good. Beat your former team. What a win for the Houston Outlaws, and what a win for the fans. They needed this after a really tough Stage 2. Things are looking pretty bright going forward here for the Outlaws. If they can keep this momentum going, they've got an interesting season ahead of them.
That's right.
That's right. And now we've got Mika standing by with Jake to tell us a little bit about how it feels to take down the best team in the league.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with a very smiley Jake, as he should be. As they said, you took down the best team of the league. You took New York to a Map 5. Is this a turnaround that we have been waiting for from the Houston Outlaws?
It certainly feels like that. I'm so proud of my team. I mean, we did a bunch of stuff today that we had never practiced. You know, once they had such a dominant map on Eichenwald, we felt like we couldn't take them in the mirror. And then we just brought it to strats we've actually never tried before and never played Dante on that map. And we just had the faith that that was what they couldn't deal with. And I'm just so excited. You know, it's a mental turnaround for us more than anything else. It's about, we stayed focused despite how hard it was.
Absolutely, and I know I talked to your coaching staff during halftime, and they said that you guys have been having a lot more fun with the comps that you're playing rather than focusing on just 3-3, and is that what's been mentally turning you around, just really focusing on having a good time and playing this game?
It's all about the mentality. I mean, that's life, really, but I think in the Overwatch League, when the competition's this intense, if you're not enjoying yourselves and appreciating the time we have here, you're just missing out. So I think that's just number one for us.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations once again to you, Jake, and to all the Houston Outlaws. Listen to everybody cheer for you. And that's all we're going to have down here. Back to you, Monty and Doa.
Thank you, Mika. Happy Jake and a happy Dante as well, as he will be our Omen by HP player of the match. And it's like Jake said, you know, they figured it out. Seems like Shock just can't handle that EMP. And Dante set up about a billion really good ones.
Yeah, he did. It was definitely Dante's EMP Inferno today. And the way they cycled the ultimates against the EMP, Dante's individual performance, he was the thorn in the side of the San Francisco Shock. And he gets some revenge on a team that dealt him over to the Outlaws. What a great day for him.
That's right. Shocking to be on the phone with tech support for the rest of the day after all that, all those computer problems, man, all the hacks. Well,
71 eliminations, 7 deaths. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good day on Sombra.
not bad at all. Goodbye to our Disney XD audience with a fantastic match to tune in for. For those of you that want some more Overwatch League action, you can catch it on Twitch and on the ESPN app. Shanghai versus Atlanta Reign coming up. That's going to be sick as well. Hope you stick with us. Either way, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
What a day it is for great Overwatch. If you just caught our previous match and you loved it, we're just getting started here in the Blizzard Arena because our next one is going to be huge as well. The Shanghai Dragons take on the Atlanta Reign. Two teams very much alive, very much in the middle of the pack, Matt, and very much out to prove themselves still.
Yeah, the Atlanta Reign, they have, as good as an 0-2 week as you could have last week. You see down there, 7-9. Even in terms of map differential. The Dragons are on the rise, though. The Dragons sit at 8-7. I think they're better than their 8-7 record. I think since they've had Ding in the lineup, he's playing a ton of Sombra now, like just how we saw the Outlaws take down the Shock using the Sombra. I think you're going to see the Dragons ride this Sombra as far as it can go.
Listen, Matt, I'm a fan of the Atlanta Reign. They are dangerous. Coming off of a stage 2 where they take down the NYXL not once but twice. Then in their first week of stage 3, they have to go up against both the Shock and the Titans, put pressure on both of them. They push Shock a heck of a long way. This team
is really on the rise here. They've just had some rough opponents in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people were concerned towards the end of stage 2 with, while they beat the NYXL twice, but just with like how Baby Bay was playing in the Zarya role, right? I think he's definitely come into his own on this roster. I think having Dako back in has been huge. Really big fan of the Masa Dogman support line. I think they moved Kodak down to the Academy team now, so they're going to ride this support line for the rest of the season.
Obviously, Dako re-entering this team, continuing to exert himself on that flex tank role has been important. But let's talk about the Shanghai Dragons, Matt. They look excellent. We haven't seen much of them at all this stage so far, but look at this schedule going forward. Now, this is statistically one of the easiest for any team in this stage.
Yeah, I mean, they play Atlanta, which has played the toughest, competition that we have in the league, very close. They do get 2 games against the Valiant this stage, who have been, up and down. They're adding some new players in. I think that 2 games against the Charge, who had a pretty poor stage 2. They look to be playing a little bit better here. This is a very good stage, though, for the Shanghai Dragons. I think you could legitimately end this stage with the 1 loss of your Shanghai and put yourself in a good spot to make the overall season playoffs at one of those top 6 spots.
If that match was anything to go by, it looks like those teams that are able to use Sombra well are going to be getting good results going forward. And one of those teams is your Shanghai Dragons. I'm telling you, Matt, this roster is full of superstars, but for me, it's all about Ding. He continues to be prolific on this Sombra, holds records for the most people hacked over the course of maps and of series. Dangerous indeed.
And I mean, the records that he holds, they're number 2, number 3, it's not close. I do think, though, they have a very, very good support line that goes underrated. I think the Luffy and Koma, both of those players have played very strong, even in stage 1. They weren't looking the best, but they kind of settled in on this lineup to run pretty much the whole time now. And it's been working. I think, though, they play around Ding, whether he plays Sombra, whether he plays Pharah. I think this is a team that kind of went away from your old, let's say, traditional triple tank, triple support with the Reinhardt base.
They didn't spend much time dabbling with that at all.
They've gone away from it, pretty much from stage 2 until now. So it'll be interesting to see how they bring it into stage 3. They've had the most practice on the Sombra.
And I'm quite sure their opponents are very ready for what the Dragons are going to bring. They would have been watching, especially at the end of last stage. But let's bring them out to the stage. It is the Atlanta Reign. I really enjoyed getting to hear